What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go in to tonight's games as well as yesterday. So we went below 500, which is never great. Honestly, picking spreads, you just want to 500 is considered average, but I always am a hard critic on myself. So we went into last night's game, would have been about 500, but we did lose that one. So not one of our better weeks. I just, like I said, I thought more people were going to be on the Giants here getting that many points, but I also, I guess I can see why they would make the Giants win this game. I do think they have a harder schedule. The Commanders, I mean, that's what I had gone over. They have the Niners coming up, but we'll see what happens. But like I said, we're a little below 500. Let's hope tonight's game will split that out. The good thing is, and I try going over this with people, is we closed the good ones, so I felt really confident about the Lions. So we made them leg 2 going into yesterday. And then for leg 3, we played the Raiders once we lost the Dallas game. So what happens is, even if we split, we wind up closing out and profiting. And if you've watched my old videos, that's how the system works. But I think we do good tonight. So Packers definitely win. I think we know that. The question is it a close comeback where they have him and Baker go back and forth? Or do the Packers look really strong tonight and they want to actually make them look like a threat where they win a couple games? I'm going to go with the latter, and I'm going to buy it down to 7. Just because they moved it, there's that chance of a clip. There's not much more to go into. They're going to be playing the Lions pretty soon, and they made it where the NFC is now open. So I looked at the divisions, and I think we were over the target. We just had I had the wrong idea. So for the NFC South, I thought every team would lose to keep them all one game apart in a shitty division. I'm sorry, I thought they would all win to keep them all one game apart in a shitty division. Instead, they had them all lose, where they're one game apart in an even shittier division, which I probably should have saw coming. But so it's good that we can see these things because it helps us moving forward. Just like we knew the Raiders had to win, all those shenanigans, people were worried. It was obvious. In this game, the Packers have to win. The question is, do they cover? And I am going to buy them down to 7 points, just because I think there's a chance of that clip. But I am going to lean towards more of they pull away and do really well. Been a lot of close games lately. I'd like, a blowout would be interesting. So tonight, if you haven't told, and we're going to see if this theory holds true. If you can't tell by now, I seem to really do bad with the East, or at least average with the East, and extremely well at the West. We'll start off like 0-3 for the night and finish 6-3. So I'm not saying we're going to do great, but we're going to play the West for sure. Spurs, Rockets, I have not paid attention to those teams. Here I like Dallas for 2 reasons. They are slightly worse against the spread, and 2 wins less is significant. No team holds like that. I think more teams will be on Minnesota. So there's a couple reasons I like Dallas here. And I think they want to establish, there hasn't really been a Luka Magic game where he's just gone off and dominated. So Trae Young's had a few. Booker and the Suns have had a few. The Curry's had a bunch. I'm waiting for Luka to have a couple, and I think tonight they might make it an evenly matched game, but they do play again, so not too worried. Mavericks cover. Here I like the Pels cover because, A, it's on TV, I think. Let me see if it's on TV. Even if it's not, it's a storytelling game. No, it's not. But it's a storytelling game, and I noticed Chris Middleton's out. At the beginning of the year, I mentioned, how come when they lose, they're not mentioning the absence of Chris Middleton and the importance? Well, if you notice, and I looked at the full injury report, just so, because you click on that and a lot of more injuries will pop up that they don't show. That is the only injury for them. And if you go to the Pelicans, you see Brandon Ingram, you see he is out. So it's important to look at those things. So you have no Brandon Ingram. I think people are going to really be fading the Pelicans here. But the problem for them is, again, with no Middleton, it's basic. Yes, I think it's basically a wash. You still have CJ, you still have Drew, and you still have Giannis on the Bucks. So you have the same main players for each team. You have Drew and Giannis on the Bucks, and you got the guys that have been going for the Pels, Val, Zion, and CJ. So I just feel like there's a really good chance people are going to take the Bucks, thinking they're still the better team. You squash Ingram and you squash Middleton, and it goes to the Bucks. So I like the Pelicans there in an even game. I think the Pelicans cover. Here I like the Blazers to cover. Both very good against the spread, so that metric doesn't really come too much into play. As I said, the Blazers are 2 wins better, which won't hold, but nor will the Thunder. So one of them kind of has to break. And the reason I like the Blazers is they're giving up 6.5. SGA is out, which means people might fade the Thunder. But again, it's not going to be a heavy action game. I think it's going to be a casualty game. A game where they can make people understand the Blazers are a really good and deep team. So I like the Blazers to cover. Here I love the Suns cover. I'm going to buy it down to 9.5. I have a feeling it might be exactly a 10-point game. Lakers have been doing that all year. So buy this to 9.5 if you can. If you're doing this, just my advice. And again, I just think a lot of people are going to be like, you didn't, Pino. I'll get to you in a second. I try and help out people on my Discord when I can. Roulette. I wouldn't try that. I'll get to you in a second, man. But I wouldn't try the online roulette. I think it's rigged. But so I do think that the Suns cover this. I'm gonna buy it at 9.5. I don't think the Lakers. I think enough people are going to be on the Lakers that it's going to be enough points. Same here with the Kings. I think enough people are going to be on the Hornets because it's 10 points. And a lot of people have the Kings as pretenders. Yeah, I'll go into that. I don't play online slots and things like that. I don't trust them. But I try and help out people on my Discord. I just get a lot of messages. And so I think the Kings definitely cover this. A lot of people are going to be on the Hornets. So here I'm just going to delay the 10. I'm not going to buy down. So just to go into it, I like the Mavericks again to cover their spread. I like the Pelicans to cover their even spread. I like the Blazers to cover theirs. Suns I like to cover, but I'm buying down to 9.5. And I like the Kings to cover. And I also like the Packers to cover, but I'm buying down to 7. I think we have a good night, but we'll see how we do with the West. We always have seemed to do better. And Pino, I'll talk to you in 1 second, man. Like I said, I try and help out people in my private Discord. And I appreciate the people that message me because it's easier. But take care, everybody, and happy earnings.